Folks, sorry for not being able to get the YouTube live going this morning for the daily financial news. I tried frantically for 10 minutes to get the live going on my computer, on my phone, and on my iPad. But for whatever reason, I was not able to start a live this morning. I actually have 3 or 4 of them kind of stuck in some pending loop. But because it is important to get the daily financial news, I'm just going to record it in Zoom and upload it for you. One of the things we need to talk about is, are bubble risks growing? We need to talk about FHA delinquencies being worse than '08. Yes, they are worse than '08. But why are they worse than '08? Let's talk about that. We can talk about new home sales. We will talk about our wonderful Vegas event. I'm finally putting together an agenda. I want to share with you kind of the flow and why I think it will be another successful and amazing event. Talk about some facts about rent control. Talk about rates in 2025, mortgage rates in 2025, probably the biggest question out there. And then I want to shout out the team at Drunk Real Estate. Drunk Real Estate, Jay Scott and his friends were nice enough to include me in their podcast yesterday. It actually published this morning. We talk about the Fed. We talk about the economy. We talk about single family homes. And folks, we have some disagreements. Again, check out the guys at Drunk Real Estate and let me know what you think. I'd love to get your feedback. So let's talk about these bubble risks. Bank of America has highlighted that bubble risks are returning. Michael Harnett, chief investment strategist, talks about earnings growth being expected to go up 18%, and the Fed could potentially be cutting 250 basis points or 10 rate cuts. We have talked about, folks, having the world economy like China, Europe, and the United States starting to inject liquidity. Could we be on the cusp of lower rates, more liquidity, in conjunction with money moving off the sidelines? Folks, it was pretty easy to earn 4.5%, 5% in money market accounts, no more. As rates come down, those savings and money market accounts will come down. And where is that money going to go? Is it going to be put to work? So we need to watch these things. And again, we could be seeing some bubble risks return. Goldman Sachs is out talking about Q3 and increasing their GDP forecast. They did have the forecast at 2.5%, now up to 3%. They are talking about strength in retail, housing starts, and industrial production. I think housing starts is interesting because, again, you know that I've been talking about a rolling recession. The housing market has definitely been in a depression. It's definitely been negative impact on GDP, but will it turn around? We did get some data about mortgage today. Mortgage refinances surge 175% year on year, 20% week on week. Those are refi numbers. Purchase apps up 1% week on week and 2% year on year. Also saw in the article that FHA interest rates have broken 6%. They are 5.99. Folks, we are on the cusp of perhaps having the real estate market, housing market add positively to GDP after being negative, contracting for quite a while. So again, lots of stuff going on. Let's talk about FHA delinquencies. I do want to shout out Melody Wright. Melody Wright, someone who's been on the channel a couple of times, somebody I follow on X/Twitter. Melody Wright has a history, experience, and access to mortgage originations, mortgage performance that I do not have. I do not have experience. She definitely has her view of the current environment and the future. But I do want to highlight something she indicated yesterday that I first challenged and then thanked her because I got it wrong. So early in these Twitter, I don't know, tweets or responses or whatever, talked about FHA delinquencies surging and FHA delinquencies being worse than 2008. Again, as somebody who experienced 2008, that just felt wrong to me. And I responded asking for basically more data, more experience, which of course Melody Wright was wonderful at giving. She supplied it. She had a peer Man, I wish I remembered his name. He also supplied, again, mortgage information, origination, and performance. And I want to acknowledge that Melody Wright is correct. FHA delinquencies today are worse than 2008. Now, also, I want to step back and ask why. Why are FHA delinquencies worse today than 2008, 2010? How could that be? When you think about what happened in the great financial crisis, you, like myself, probably are like, that can't be right. We had so much more delinquencies back in that cycle. How could it be worse today? Again, folks, it is worse today. I want to highlight, I want to acknowledge I was wrong. I want to, kudos to Melody Wright for being correct again. But here's the bigger picture. The thing that I forgot when my response in my kind of trying to learn and be better was that in 2006 and 2005, when we talked about loan origination, FHA was not being leveraged a lot. FHA was kind of a non-thing. Obviously, a lot of you have heard about subprime, but many of you probably haven't heard of Alt A. It was actually Alt A that was the loan product that was leveraged by most people. So the fact that FHA delinquencies are worse today than 08, and they are, is because we didn't leverage FHA to the same kind of numbers and frequencies last time. If you look at the entire mortgage market, the 08 cycle is far, far worse. However, if you look at a sliver of the 08 market, it is accurate, it is fair, it is 100% correct to say FHA delinquencies are worse today than 08. And I want to thank Melody Wright for setting me straight, giving me that education, and allowing me to see the bigger picture better, which is all one can hope for. Let's talk about new home sales. New home sales, remember last month was a barn burner, up 10.6%. There was some expectations by many that there would be a significant revision. Think unemployment, right? We revised down 818 jobs, just disappeared. Well, in reality, it was revised slightly. So that big number for new home sales stands last month. It actually was revised up, not down. But what happened this month? Well, again, last month was 751. There was 751,000. There was an expectation of being 700,000, where in reality it came in at 716. So worse than last month, but better than expected. Down 4.7% from last month. But again, pretty cool. Let's talk about that agenda that I dropped for the Vegas event. Again, February 15th, 16th. You want to be there. About one half of the VIP tickets are already sold. So if you want to do VIP, you should be buying your tickets very, very soon. They will sell out first. We do not have a lot of those tickets. We have a lot more general admission. But here we go. Here's just a taste of what you're going to get February 15th and 16th in Las Vegas. You're going to get multiple conversations from couples, husband and wife, dynamic duos, revisiting their history, telling you how they started, giving you some funny stories, talking about the journey, and yes, even talking about it now. I think it is so important to have couples up on stage telling you how it was, giving you some funny stories, because a lot of us do this for our family. So you're going to get talks from couples on Saturday and Sunday. Both Saturday and Sunday, the couples, the husband and wives, will be kicking off the day, setting the stage for an amazing day. We're going to get a story from somebody who started from nothing, somebody who made $10 an hour and earned financial freedom. We're going to talk about out-of-state investing. We're going to talk about, stop thinking of thousands of units and maybe, just maybe, how little amount of units you need to earn financial freedom. We're going to talk about potentially going to school for a long time, maybe being a lawyer or a doctor, cancer research, whatever it is, getting that big degree, and then getting in the profession and figuring it's not for you. What do you do? What do you do when you have all this school debt? What do you do when you have, you've been on this journey and realize after 6, 7 years you are miserable? How do you eject from that and start something else? We are going to talk about documenting your journey, your process, building a brand, Again, Sean Cannell last year, Think Media. We're going to have someone come in, do the same thing, talk about just the importance of putting yourself out there. We're going to talk about how to protect your mindset. One of the biggest things we have to do today in social media age is protect your mindset. We're going to try to give you some tools and tricks to do after you leave the event. These events are obviously positive energy. You're going to be floating on a cloud, but I want to give you the tools to leverage and keep yourself solid for the next year. We are going to have several surprise speakers. We will have a keynote that I will be holding back, frankly, still trying to line up. We're going to have a surprise speaker on Saturday and Sunday right after lunch, making sure you get back from lunch on time. Again, these will be surprise speakers you will not want to miss. I'm also going to have several panels. We're going to have the millionaire panel, all your favorite millionaires coming up on stage where you can ask questions. We're going to have tools. We're going to have mortgage again. And then something else we're doing this year is we will give awards. I don't know how many awards we're going to give. I'm thinking 5, perhaps up to 10, but we will be giving awards to community members who make one rental at a time better. There's lots of people in the community doing work every day, the message and all of that. So I look forward to it. Again, come join us in Vegas. You're going to want to be there. General admission, VIP, and of course, we will be feeding everyone. Let's talk about rent control. Again, rent control is a topic being discussed a lot in the United States. I do want to highlight what happened in Argentina. Argentina just recently abolished rent control. And very quickly, what happened? Well, you saw supply of rental units increase 170%. You saw rent growth ease to a 3-month low. Folks, I don't know what to tell you. More supply, less inflation. It's just how it works. Rentals have become easier to find. They were kind of scarce before, and inflation has cooled. Rent control feels good in the moment, but is a disaster long term. If you want to research a country that has 96% of their units covered by rent control, you can check out Amsterdam. Amsterdam, or a city, I should say, a city, Amsterdam. 96% of the units in Amsterdam are covered by rent control. And let's just say it is nearly impossible to find a rental unit there. I think probably the most important question for us to ask about 2025, at least on this channel, is what will mortgage rates bring? What will be the mortgage rate in 2025? Because it's a very different answer. If you think mortgage rates in 2025 will be below 5%, you probably have a very different expectation than if mortgage rates are above 6%. Right? At the end of the day, mortgage rates are a cost of capital. They are part of the affordability equation. So if you can't, if you get that wrong, we may have a very different answer. It is of my opinion that I hope mortgage rates do not go below 5.5, which is very interesting given we may have 200 basis points in rate cuts. So again, it will be very interesting. Also, let's be clear, I hope there is no first-time homebuyer program, no free money. We do not need more demand. We need to focus on the supply side. If we do get a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 first-time homebuyer program, those buyers who get that free money will set prices for entry-level housing across the country, and it will get more expensive. Something I should have said earlier is giving you some numbers. I told you FHA delinquencies are worse today than 2008. I actually have numbers for you. Again, shout out Melody Wright for that. In 2008, Q2 2008, there were 67,925 FHA delinquencies. Today, there are 145,369 Q2 of 2024. So quick math says that's up 120% over 2008. Again, definitely worse. But remember, there's a story, there is a reason FHA was not a big product back then. So again, very, very interesting. KB Homes came out with some earnings yesterday. They did highlight that as rates modified or moderated in August, orders improved. They did beat on revenue, but missed on earnings. They did raise guidance, but they also highlighted a declining margin, likely because they are giving those credits. Again, some of the things that I am watching is gold and stocks. Right, so we have, gold is typically a fear trade, where stocks are, risk trade. So again, it's very interesting to watch what's going on in the market. So, folks, do me a favor. Join school. We had one person join school yesterday. Ryan, shout out Ryan for joining school. Again, I am trying to make one rental at a time the #1 real estate investing school on the platform. Join school, introduce yourself, ask questions, interact with folks. The community is growing day after day. Ryan, thanks for joining. Who's going to join today? Leave a comment. Let me know. Also, let me know what you think of the Vegas event. I'm very excited about the agenda. I still have a lot of work to do, but it is fun to see it come together. Also, I apologize. YouTube Live was not working. I tried it 3 or 4 times, so I had to record it this way. And yes, folks, I was freaking out. As somebody who likes to be on time, the fact that I wasn't on time today really, really bugs me. But we do what we can. Thanks.